Hi everybody, welcome. My name is Sandra. In this session we are going to focus a little bit on shoulders, neck, torso, chest, working towards a little bit more mobility in that area. We start seated and I would like to have you use a folded blanket or a block to sit upon. So you raise your seat a little, making sure as you come to cross-legged that your outer thighs reach the floor comfortably, because that helps you to upright the lower back. With your hands resting on your knees or on your thighs, relaxing the shoulders away from your ears and feeling the sit bones ground, which is your foundation, from where your spine is growing tall, the crown of your head reaching high towards the sky. Join your palms in front of your chest. Drop the shoulders, interlace your fingers. And take an inhale here. As you then exhale, push the air away and round your spine. You draw the navel in, head is heavy. Inhaling, come to upright, palms facing the sky, and arch a little back. Exhaling, round, and really stretching your fingers nicely as well. Inhaling, come to upright, arch a little back. It's a little bit like a cat-cow movement we're doing here, right? So draw the navel in here, head is heavy. Inhale, come to upright, arch a little back. One more round. Rounding on the exhale. Inhale, come to upright. On the exhale, come into your twist to the right side. Bring your left hand to your opposite thigh. Right fingertips go behind you on the floor or hand to the sacrum. Roll the right shoulder back, distributing the twist evenly through your whole spine. And then keep your left hand where it is, but lean a little over to the left and a little to the front, so your shoulder coming a little closer, left shoulder a little closer to the left knee. Your right hand goes to your lower back or to your sacrum now. Roll the right shoulder back. Bend the left elbow a little, and against that gentle pull against the right knee, you're turning and twisting your chest a little more open. So we're taxing the lower side portion of your spine, the right side portion of your lower back, the waist, the right waist area. Rolling the right shoulder back, and then slowly back to upright, and once more into the twist where we've just been. And then inhaling, sweep your arms out now, come to center, join your palms as you exhale. Interlace your fingers the unfamiliar way, so other pinky goes to the front. Inhaling here, as you exhale, push the air away and round your spine. Let your navel draw in, head is heavy. Inhale, come to upright, arching a little back. Exhale, round. Inhale, come to upright, arch a little back. On the exhale, round. And as you round, create the action like you're pulling your hands apart, your interlaced fingers, and like that, you're broadening your shoulder blades a little more nicely. Let's try that again. Rounding your spine, pulling your hands apart. And then inhale, come to upright. Exhaling into your twist to your second side. Roll the left shoulder back. Your right hand goes to opposite near thigh. And then keeping your hand where it is, your right hand where it is. You're leaning a little over to the right shoulder approaching, coming closer to the right knee, and your left hand goes to your lower back and sacrum now. Bend the right elbow and pulling a little against your opposite knee or thigh. So we're taxing the left waistband. Rolling the left shoulder back. Make sure your neck is elongated. There's no need to tuck the chin. Facial muscles soft on the next inhalation. Come back to upright, and once more into your twist to the left. Feel the left shoulder rolling back. Your spine is elongating. Your chin is parallel to the floor. And then next time you inhale, come back to center. Sweep your arms out. Now exhale, just release your arms and lean a little back. You can remove the support now you were sitting upon, and you place your feet in front of you parallel with your hands a little behind you, a little wider than shoulder width, with your palms, fingertips pointing to the front. Roll the shoulders back, bend your elbows slightly, harness them in, and have your hands pushing down and forward. And as you do that, you lift the chest, and you probably observe and you notice how you broaden the chest that way. If you find it more comfortable or more accessible, everything, you want to extend your legs. Grounding the whole palms into the floor as you continue breathing. Whole palms grounding, spreading your fingers wide. Another cycle of breath. Before you bend your knees, roll over the knees or swing your legs back and come into our mini dog. Hips above your knees and mini dog. Hips above your knees as you reach your arms far to the front. The forehead can rest on the floor. Your arms are super active. Your navel sinking down though. Your tummy soft, navel sinking down. Arms are active. Shoulder width apart are your hands. And then we go into a twist, a gentle twist, and we stay there for a little. You're gonna turn a little over to the right. So you're gazing underneath your right armpit and you will observe on how your pelvis follows, right? And now stay here as you continue breathing and crawl your left hand a tiniest little bit further away from you. Press that hand down and pull it back. It won't move, but you press it down and pull it back while your right hand is pushing down and away. So you are taxing the left portion of the shoulder even further with that action of the left hand pressing down and pulling back, the right hand pressing down and pushing away. Now slowly back to center. Same thing, second side. So readjust your hands parallel where they were at the beginning, and then we turn over to the left. Now you gaze underneath your left armpit and now crawl your right fingertips ever so slightly away from you. Press that hand down and pull it towards you as you turn a little more from the navel. Push the left hand down and press the left hand down and push away. And with these actions, you might notice how we find more elongation, length and space in the right outside portion, the outside portion of your right shoulder. And then slowly back to center. Forehead is resting on the floor. And from here you want to drape back, sit back in child's pose, releasing your upper body down. And being heavy. A moment where you can wiggle a little bit from side to side. Before you slide your hands to the front, come into your hands and knees. And then from here, drawing back into your downward facing dog. There won't be plenty of dogs in this session today, but we don't want to leave it out completely. So downward facing dog, you can bicycle the legs if you like, or you have it more static, but you breathe deeply. And then from here, step your right foot to the front. Maybe both knees down first is a good choice. And then you step your right foot to the front. You keep your right fingertips on the floor, or using a block to raise to elevate the floor a little, because you want to elongate the spine as you now take your left elbow and circle, making huge circles, big circles with your elbow. So the left arm is bending, big circles back, mobilizing the shoulder joint. The right shoulder is relaxed. Yeah? You're returning a little over to the left, you see. Another circle, and then bring your left hand to the left hip point. Roll the left shoulder back. If there's more room to play with, only then extend your arm. Then you can circle the wrist a little. And then changing direction. Spine is elongated. Before we come slowly down, bring both of your hands back down. Re-straighten the back leg and step it back into your downward facing dog. On your next exhale, step your left foot to the front. Maybe both knees down first is a good choice. Elongate the spine. We keep that elongation in the spine as the left fingertips are on the floor or on a support. And now you're circling your right elbow back. You know, we're bending our right arm. Huge circles. That means we want to create more space and mobility in our right shoulder joint as we make these big circles. Another round. Before you bring your right hand to your right hip point, roll the right shoulder back, maybe from here reaching your right arm towards the sky. And just notice if that is really beneficial for you. For many bodies it's much more beneficial to keep the hand on the hip. Creates more opening in the chest. Circle your wrist if you like, and then changing direction. Before we come back to center, both hands down, straighten the back leg, step it back, downward facing dog. From here, you step your right foot behind your right hand, so a little bit of a shorter stride. And then you turn the back foot 45 degrees in for warrior one, come to upright. Hands go to your hips. Make sure that your feet are hip distance apart. hip distance apart, thinking train tracks, right? Both feet ground, the back toes pointing 45 degrees to the front. Bring your hands to your hips and encourage the hips, the pelvis, to square as good as it goes with the front edge of your yoga mat. Lengthen the tailbone down. Rest your right hand on your right thigh. Reach your left arm towards the sky. Bend at the elbow. Reach your right arm towards the sky. Hold the left elbow pulling in. And your hand and your elbow are resisting one another just a little. So we create a little bit more opening in our left forearm. And keep on lengthening the tail down. Draw the lower ribs a little in as you keep the back leg straight and elongating. Grounding through your feet before you release your arms. And get hold of your opposite side elbows behind your back or wrist. Or if you have the space if you have a little more room and space for that, bring your palms together in hidden prayer. Straighten the front leg now. And square the hips with the front edge of your yoga mat. As you keep your spine elongated, we're leaning a little forward. Yeah? We don't have to go like, we go maximum, the torso parallel to the floor. That's maximum. We can bend the front knee a little. If you like, bend the front knee a little. Make sure that you ground the big front toe into the floor, the base of the big front toe grounding. And then you bring your left hand to the floor, or you're using a block underneath your chest, and turn over to the right for twisted triangle pose. Parivrtta Trikonasana. So your left hand is underneath your chest in the variation we're working with today. Your right hand on your sacrum, roll the right shoulder back. And be very aware that you ground the base of the big front toe into the floor. Turning a little more from the navel if you like, and then slowly back to center. Even here the knee can bend a little. Don't worry about that. The front knee can bend a little if you need a little more space. Yeah? And then step it back into your down dog. Reaching those sit bones high. Having a moment in between both sides. Maybe mini dog or child's pose is a better option now. Preparing for the second side where you step your left foot behind your left hand. Turn the back foot 45 degrees in. Come to upright. Think train tracks. Maybe wiggling the left foot a little over to the side. Hip distance apart are the feet. The front shin is perpendicular to the floor. We don't want to be here, for instance, right? Perpendicular to the floor. And encouraging the hips now to square as good as it goes with the front edge of your yoga mat. Lengthening the tailbone down, drawing the lower ribs a little in as you reach your right arm towards the sky. Bend at the elbow, reach your left arm towards the sky. Bend at the elbow and pulling a little in. Elbow and hand resisting one another as the front foot is pushing forward and down and the back foot is pushing down and back. Navel drawing a little in. Most importantly, continue breathing as you release your arms now. Getting hold of your opposite side elbows, your wrists, or joining your palms together in your hidden prayer. Straightening the front leg. Square the hips with the front edge of your yoga mat. And then leaning forward. Your spine stays elongated. That means stick your butt out. Maybe micro-bending the front knee is a good idea. Micro-bending the front knee. Don't go any further than the torso being parallel to the floor. Before you release your right hand to the floor or a yoga block underneath your chest. Having a firm support can be really nice. And from there, turning over to the left. Your left hand goes to the sacrum. And allow your pelvis to join that twist. It's often taught differently. But if you're used to practice differently, just try. Try and allow the pelvis, to join the twist. Helps to maintain integrity in your sacral area, the sacrum area. Rolling the left shoulder back. Maybe reaching your left arm towards the sky. And then slowly back to center. And transitioning back into your downward facing dog. Sit bones reaching high towards the sky. Rocking forward into your plank pose. Lowering the knees down. Sliding the knees back. On the way down, draw your shoulder blades down your back, rib cage via high cobra into mini cobra. And then reach your arms reach your right arm far to the front. And your left arm is threading down underneath. And your left fingertips crawling like as far as they go across the room, away from you. Both of your arms reaching. So quite active, yeah? And now you will see that the left shoulder, you're leaning a little over to the left, right? Now elevate the left shoulder. Elevate the left shoulder. So you parallel your torso, your chest with the floor again. With your left hand pressing down and pulling a little towards you. So we're opening the lateral portion of your left shoulder here. You're reaching through your toes, your legs are relatively active as you continue breathing. And then we come slowly back to center. So bring your left arm back to center and reach your left arm to the front now as far as you can. And your right arm is threading down underneath and crawling your left fingertips like far over to the left. Your right fingertips, far over to the left. And you see, right shoulder is now, you're leaning a little over to the right. Now parallel your torso with the floor again, the chest with the floor. Right hand is pressing to the floor and pulling a little back towards you. So there's a mini back bend involved here. So your lower back is working, but we are specifically taxing the shoulder, the outside portion of your right shoulder now. Another moment. Before we're coming slowly to center and pushing yourself up onto your knees, back into mini dog or downward facing dog. Having a moment before we have in one more round where we're specifically taxing the chest, the shoulders, rocking forward into your plank pose, lowering the knees down, lengthening the toes, sliding the knees back on the way down, long neck, lowering down. Bring your left elbow a little in front of you to the floor. And now bend your right knee. As you're reaching your right arm back, holding the top of your right foot and pulling in. As you now observe what happens as you ground the groins, things get more interesting, right? You ground your groins, things get more interesting in your thigh. Roll the right shoulder back. And as you now bend the top elbow, we don't just tax the thigh, but we also tax the shoulder. And if you turn, if there's room for that, if you turn your fingertips to point to face the front, you go even deeper. But just see what is available for your body. It's not that one thing is better than the other. It's not about range of motion, but integrity of motion and movement. Integrity, so maintaining integrity in your body. And then slowly releasing. Reaching your right arm, bring your right arm to the front, elbow goes to the floor for stability, for support. We don't want to collapse in that shoulder either, right? Forgot to say that on the other side. Then you bend your left knee, reach your left arm back, hold the top of the left foot, and as you ground the groins now, see what happens. You feel that it really gets interesting in your thigh. Not so much when you let the lumbar curve deepen, but you lengthen the tail. You might want to explore that for a moment. Bend the top elbow. If it's available, you bend the top elbow. That will tax and open the shoulder, the front of your left shoulder a little bit more. Maybe turning the fingertips to face the front, if there's room for that. Reminding yourself, we work with the body that we have, dropping the idea that we are here to dominate our body. We work with the body that we have. Slowly releasing, letting go. And pushing yourself with your hands underneath your shoulders, pushing yourself up onto your knees and back into your child's pose. Open your knees a little wider. So you can drape your upper body down. Moment of quiet here. Before we're slowly rolling up, coming to a sit. And you can sit on your heels, or if this is not that comfortable for your knees, you're welcome to use a block or a pillow to put in between your feet to sit upon. Maybe sit even higher. Cross-legged is fine as well. But find a seat where it's easy for you to upright the spine. Allowing your eyes to fall closed. So that could also be on a chair. also be on a chair. Close your eyes and allow the shoulders to drop away from your ears and the crown of your head to reach high towards the sky. Long neck. As you now imagine, somebody would be putting a soft, comfortable pillow on your right shoulder. And with this elongated neck, you're now resting your right ear on that pillow. So you're tilting your head over to the right. You can gently open the mouth a little bit just to make sure that we don't clench the teeth. And then you can release your left fingertips towards the floor and a little bit more actively draw the left shoulder away from the ear now. As we now play a little with the positioning of our head, we're tilting the head over to the right. But what happens if we now also let the head drop a little to the front at the same time? Just a tiny bit of a movement, playing with that, tilting the head over to the right and letting the head drop to the front a little. Play with that a little. Once you found an interesting place, you might want to linger a little. Another cycle of breath before you come slowly to center, placing both of your hands back on your thighs. Your head coming to center, balancing the head on the top vertebra of your neck, so growing tall. And now imagining that soft pillow on your right shoulder, somebody is taking that soft pillow and put it over onto your left shoulder. And with your neck elongated, you're resting your left ear on that soft, comfortable pillow. Gently parting your lips a little. Releasing your right fingertips towards the floor and drawing the right shoulder a little more actively away from the ear. And then playing with the positioning of your head, rather than just tilting the head over to the left. What happens? How does the sensation change as you let the head now tilt even a little, drop a little to the front? So you need to play a little bit around to find an interesting spot here. Relaxed breathing. Relaxed face. Another cycle of breath. Before we come slowly back to center. Resting both of your hands on your knees or thighs. For another minute or two of quiet, where we can stay seated in a seated mini meditation, or if you have the time to do that and stay longer, you're welcome to transition into Shavasana, of course. So if you stay seated, make sure that your spine is elongated without feeling military, but elongated enough so that your breath has space, so that your body can be breathed by your breath and there's space for your breath. Simply noticing how your breath moves your torso, moves your rib cage and your tummy. This expansion on the inhalation into all directions, to the front, to the side, to the back. And on the exhalation, everything returns to where it started. allowing your next inhalation to deepen a little. Feel the expansion into all directions. As you then join your palms together in front of your chest, noticing the temperature of your palms, noticing on how your thumbs touch your breastbone, and take this gesture as a gesture of gratitude towards yourself for having made the time, practice today as an act of taking care of yourself. Allow your next inhalation to be a little deeper, opening your eyes as you exhale. Namaste. Thank you for practicing.